Winging a prayer. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just Joan. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Are we streaming? Let me check. All right, we're streaming. We are streaming and we're live. We're live for a birthday stream. Actually, my birthday's tomorrow, but I figured I'd do it today. Welcome to the live stream where we do it live. Tomorrow's my birthday. I will be 60, and I will be going for sushi because this is what I like to do and play video games. Everyone leave me alone. So if you'd like to donate to the sushi fund, have at it. I'll be going to an all-you-can-eat place, and I'm not coming out until I'm bloated and sick. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. I saw the grossest video online. Speaking of food, the only other food I like as much as sushi is probably blueberries. And I saw this video where they say you should soak your blueberries in salt water. And I thought, oh, that's weird. Why would you do that? And then they did it, and little larvae came out of the blueberries. And I was like, oh, that's awful. So what's going on? What happened this week? A lot happened this week, actually. Let's see. I did Gator Weekend at One More Bar and Grill Friday and Saturday. It's actually going on today, but they're probably out of gator meat by now. Very popular, the gator meat at Gator Weekend. So I sold a bunch of books there. It was very cold the first night, and I fell. I tripped and fell on the patio while I was packing up to go. And let me tell you something. Nothing will tell you how old you are when you fall on the ground and you have to lie there a second and go, oh my God, that hurt. Do I have to go to a hospital? Did I break things? Fortunately, I didn't break anything, and I recovered. And then I went home and iced my knee and took some drugs, and I was fine. But, oh man, when I fell, I was like, this is terrible. Why do people do this? And then I went back on Saturday, and I had a good time. I had probably the best cheesesteak I've had in a while. And without a doubt, the best steak fries at One More Bar and Grill. Holy cow, were these good. I cannot tell you how many times I go out to a restaurant in the South Jersey area looking for decent steak fries, and they just can't be found. You look and look and look, and you get this the best you can hope for is the frozen steak fries from Ore-Ida, which are pretty good, but they're not potatoes. They're not they're like a potato-like product, I guess. You know, and they have stuff on them which I don't want to eat. These were just, golden brown, but they were pure potato, and they were so delicious. Well, let me tell you, the food at One More Bar and Grill, highly underrated. So if you're ever in the South Jersey area in Chemung, New Jersey, out on 206, stop in to One More Bar and Grill. And then today I went to the Lines in the Pines, which is Piney Con. Basically everything Piney related is there, and it goes from 11 to 4. I wish they would go longer because, quite frankly, I think the show could go at least 2 more hours. At least. I think it should start earlier, maybe. But I sold some books there, so I had a pretty good weekend. How about you? And now it's my birthday tomorrow. And so Monday I'm not doing much other than going to get sushi and doing whatever the F I want. But then Saturday, my girlfriend's throwing me a birthday party. Thanks, baby. Shout out to the girlfriend out there watching the show. All right. What's going on today in the box office? How the hell would I know? Because the numbers went down. So they're doing maintenance on their site. So I have to use Box Office Mojo, which only has the domestic numbers unless you go to another page where the international numbers are too. And I don't know. It's a different layout. I don't like change. Hate change. But we'll suffer through it. So let's see what's happening over here at the box office. All right. And there we go. Domestic weekend 10, March 6th through 8th. Number one movie in the world, or domestically anyway, is Hoppers. Ugh. This is a new Pixar movie, and it did not look good. It did not look good to me. 46 million isn't great. Let's see what they say about this thing. Oh, here, we do have international. Okay, we could do it this way. So 88 million worldwide for an animated thing of Pixar. I gotta think this budget was probably, I'm gonna say at least 150 to 200 million. I would think. Let's see. Let's see if we can find out. What is the budget for the movie Hoppers? I'm going to guess 150 easily. According to the AI, 150. Okay, so we are at 88 million, which means what? We need to be at 300 million to make this thing work, to break even for the budget. And we probably need to be at 375 to break even for the advertising. And let me tell you something. They've been advertising this movie for a long time. A long effing time. Now, this will get a lot of replay in the secondary market, but I don't think it's going to make it. So, 88 million, you're looking at 44 million. Actual profit, I think you got a long way to go. Next week, you get another 44 million. You'll be at about 120, 150. I don't think it's going to make 300, much less 375. So I think that's going to be a bust. I'm not surprised. Pixar kind of burning the candle at both ends with their rep, along with Disney. Oh, who's texting me? Okay. Sorry, I gotta do tax stuff. Hold on, I gotta answer this. Real quick. Alright. So, yeah. That doesn't bode well for... They're calling it a big hit, but I don't think it is. Number 2, dropping to 1, is Scream 7. 17.3 million, a 72% drop. Ouch. Effing ouch, man. That's a big drop for a big movie like this. But I'm not surprised. Who the hell wants to see this thing? I mean, really. 149 million. I don't remember the budget on this one. God, it's almost 2 hours. 2 hours of people being murdered? No thanks. What is the budget for... Place your bets, everybody. For Scream 7. I'm going to say 100 million. I'll say 100. Oh. Fatty tuna nigiri. Or, yeah, am I saying that right? Fatty tuna nigiri is my favorite. Highly recommend. I will get that, John Adams. Thank you for your donation. The budget for Scream 7 is 45 million. Well, that's pretty modest. That's pretty modest. I would have thought it would have been more. Okay. So we're looking at this thing's in the black already then. Yeah, 149 million. Let's see. 45, we needed 90. Plus another 20. So, yeah, we're good. Good to go. Crap. They're going to make another one of these. I hate these. I hate these. Joe Muir Hobes is here. Oh, I missed JEC was the first to enter the chat. Hi. Joe Muir Hobes, I mentioned you in a community post. Thank you. What did you say? Hey, this idiot. He's doing a stream. And he's begging for sushi. I do love sushi so much. I would sleep with sushi if I could. Actually sleep, not do anything weird. Joe Meir Hoobs. Have you seen my community post yet? I wished you a happy birthday. No, I did not. Thank you so much. It's very nice of you to say. All right. Number 3 is The Bride. Oh, I have lots to say about The Bride. Now, allegedly, the budget is $90 million. So this movie's in big trouble because it's its first week and it opened at $7.2 million. And it is not going well for Maggie Gyllenhaal. She who directed it, by the way, who looks, I gotta say, not good. Like, she looks 10 years too old for her age. She is not aging well. Kudos for her and not getting Botox or whatever, but she doesn't look good. She looks like an old woman. And in Hollywood, oh yeah, that's no bueno. But she's decided to go to the directing route, which is a smart route, except she decided to direct The Bride, which is a feminist version of Frankenstein, which is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. And I've had to say that now 3 times because this is at least the 3rd feminist Frankenstein movie. And I would like to remind everyone out there that I actually invented this entire subgenre. I forgot I invented it because I did the Superfrac webcomic, as you may or may not know, and I did a strip or storyline within the strip called Frankenstein. And in the Frankenstein storyline, let me see if I can find it here. I've got so many milestones. In the Frankenstein storyline, it's oh, here it is. Frankenstein is created by Bitter, who has a giant brain, and he cobbles together parts from various porn stars and OF models and the like because he's kind of a perv and he wants to have a really super hot girlfriend. So his assistant in this endeavor, here he is chopping up the body parts, is a brother, Count Steve, who he's sort of the emo brother in the frat. And so he tasks him to get a brain of a femme fatale. He tells him to go get a brain of a femme fatale. But of course, he gets the wrong brain, and he drops the femme fatale, and instead brings him the brain of a feminist. And thus, Frankenstein is eventually born. There's Frankenstein. You could see, I can't stay on this too long. It's a little racy. But the electrodes were hooked to her, you know what. And so she's beautiful and cobbled together from many women, but she's also a rabid feminist. So she doesn't want to have sex with Bitter, and she goes on a rampage. So it was my idea, is what I'm saying. But it's a terrible, stupid idea. JEC, they just had Pretty Things come out like the year before last. John Adams. She was kind of cute in The Last Dark Knight. I know. I don't know what happened. She does not look good. And I don't say that to be mean, but really, she looks like she aged a great deal since then. I don't know why. I got bad genes. But the other feminist Frankenstein movie didn't get any sort of traction. It was called Lisa Frankenstein, and it was written by Diablo Cody. It took place in the 80s. It actually kind of, out of the 3 of them, that would be the only one I'd be even mildly interested to watch, simply because it takes place in the 80s, and you could have fun with a concept like Lisa Frankenstein. Oh wait, and there was a 4th one that takes place in the hood. I forget what that's called. But this is the one I think that started this trend, because she actually started developing it way back. Joe Meir Hobbs. It's crazy how Nirvana, the band, the show, has made $145 million over the span of 4 days. That's pretty amazing. We'll get into that in a bit if we can find it on this list. Um, JEC. She's 48. The old lady cheeks are coming in on her. I know. I know. It's a shame. It's a shame. Um, it's like she maybe gained some weight and then lost it and has sort of that jolly kind of face going on. There's really nothing you could do about that, depending on, unless you want to get cosmetic surgery, which kudos to her for not getting it, because I think it's dangerous. I don't think people should get cosmetic surgery. I think it's stupid and vain. But you know, so good on her. John Adams. Well, The Dark Knight came out a lot longer ago than I'm willing to admit. Oh, that's true. But The Bride is, you know, the initial premise is that Frankenstein is now a gangster in the 1930s Chicago, and then the bride is some flapper he has resurrected. But like the mad scientist is played by Annette Bening. Not a good choice. Not a good choice at all. So you can just feel how feminist it is with that casting choice. Like, why would you cast Annette Bening as a mad scientist? She doesn't have the look of a mad scientist. That's the kind of role you cast, like, you know, Christopher Lloyd can be the mad scientist. He's great at that stuff. He looks crazy. Bruce Dern, maybe. Someone like that who looks absolutely out of their minds, with wide-eyed, lots of energy. Annette Bening, she looks like somebody's grandma. Come on. John Adams, yeah, old lady cheeks kind of reminds me of Gracie Allen. Yeah, and, you know, like, good for her. And good for her for becoming a director. I forget who it was. I guess it was The Critical Drinker. Said her first movie, or maybe it was the New York Post reviewer, said the first movie she directed actually was pretty good, but this is just looking like a nightmare because she decided to put a bunch of feminism in it. I don't know why you would do that. The movie actually opens with Mary Shelley, right? So the lead actress who plays the bride actually talks to the audience from the grave as Mary Shelley and then inhabits the body of this flapper girl who's then killed and then brought back to life, and she's still inhabiting the body. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's like way off the rails. I highly recommend Johnny Olinsky's take on it because he goes through that whole first sequence and you're just like, what the F is this? It doesn't even make any sense to me. So, I don't know why Maggie would direct this. I mean, what a concept, right? Like, when you think like, okay, it's Christian Bale as Frankenstein, but he's also a gangster in the 1930s, and then he's going to resurrect some bride, and then it's going to be like Bonnie and Clyde. You think, oh man, this movie has potential, right? Like, this movie could be like Frankenstein, the bride, going on a tear of bank robberies until finally they die in a hail of gunfire. Like, something cool like that. Not like, oh, it's a feminist take on Frankenstein where the bride suddenly realizes her own identity or some BS like that. Why the hell would you do this? Like, are you trying to piss people off? I don't understand it. You have this entertaining idea and this style from the 1930s, and you're going to just waste it on lecturing people. Just absolutely waste it. There's no amount of style that can hide a lecture in a movie. None. It could be the most stylish movie imaginable. If you're going to lecture the audience about feminism, you might as well make nothing. Because that's what it's worth. It's worth nothing. No one wants to be lectured in a movie. Everybody wants to have a good time and see a bunch of cool stuff that they don't see in real life. If I want to be lectured, I don't know, I'll go talk to someone who lectures me, I guess. But no one wants to be lectured. No one wants to be lectured in real life. No one wants to be lectured in the movies. Why do you keep doing this? So The Bride is pretty much doomed. I can't imagine it'll do any international business. It's in IMAX? Why would you even waste the technology on that? How could it be better in IMAX? Oh man. Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I gotta mute you for 1 sec. Sorry about that. My taxes are being done as we speak. Um, Alrighty then. Uh, yeah, I cannot imagine The Bride is even worth watching to make fun of it. But there you have it. There you have it. Number 4 is Goat. This is a cartoon about a goat that wants to play basketball. And I know. Yeah, naturally you think a goat. Dropping from 2 to 4. Is this the second week of this thing? No, it's the fourth week. $6.6 million. And looks like it did okay. 146 million? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how much it cost. I don't really care. Number 5 is Wuthering Heights, dropping from 3. I think, did this one make money? It may have. 213 million. Yeah, I think it did. I think it did. I like Margot Robbie, but you know, I don't like Wuthering Heights, but maybe with the sound off it'll be good. It is a classic though. I don't know. They say she's actually too old for the role, but she wanted to do it, so Margot Robbie's cashing in her chips, her credibility chips in Hollywood, getting to do what she wants instead of doing endless reboots of Harley Quinn, I guess. Number 6 is Crime 101, which was number 6 last week. I'm surprised it hasn't gone down further. It's at 2 million. It's from MGM Studios, and Chris Hemsworth's in it. It's gotten terrible reviews. Not sure how it's holding up here. JEC, they say Wuthering Heights is basically slash fanfic. Can you explain to me in layman's term what slash fanfic is? I understand the concept of fanfic. What is slash fanfic? Is someone brutally murdered in Wuthering Heights? Or are you making a joke that I don't get? That happens here on the stream. Next up is Send Help, the Sam Raimi movie. Drops from... No, it goes from 8 to 7. How'd that happen? Strange. 1.6 million. Again, this had a pretty good premise. You know, it's a status shift. It's really more, though, of a Twilight Zone episode kind of story, in my opinion. I mean, I think you could make it get to 90 minutes, but let's see. JEC, where everyone is effing slash fanfic, especially gay effing. Oh, okay. That's weird. Why do they call it slash fanfic? I just thought it was romancy, although I think that's fantasy with a bunch of romance and sex in it. There's so many subgenres that I don't think should be subgenres. John Adams, slash is a term that I probably can't describe in a comment. Oh, dark. I don't know. too much romance, too much sex and things. And that's coming from me. I mean, look, I think movies should be fun. I don't know why it's such a problem in Hollywood. I don't know who wants to go see a bunch of dreary stories where everybody dies or has these strained relationships. I don't want to see that, or they're bleeding. Movies where people are bleeding all the time. I don't get why you even want to see that. JEC, because it's this character with Slash. Because it's this character with Slash, this other character. I think I get what you're saying. I don't know. First off, let's state for the record, again, that fanfic is poison. It's just poison at this point. If you're a teenager and you're trying to figure out how to write, doing fanfic as practice and never showing it to anybody, that's fine. Because you're just starting out, you're trying to figure out how to write if you're an early writer or something. My fanfic really were, I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, so I would write dungeons for my friends, and they would have little stories in them and, you know, rooms with treasure and stuff. So that's how I got my start. But John Adams, Ray Kalo equals Raylo. Oh, that kind of Slash. JC, Kirk's Bach. Ew. So gay. Yeah, that fanfic is really poison. You know, it's just, there's no point to it. It's stupid and weird, and too much of it's really rotting people's brains. There are some women on X, and they're always asking for romancy and stuff like that, fanfic like that. They read way too much of it. Their brains are rotting. You can tell by the way they talk about it. They read so much of that, they have like a shorthand for the types of plots and tropes that they like to see. WLW. I don't know what that means. I think it might be woman on woman, but I'm not sure. There's a whole bunch of short handles for it. JC, well, that's what they did to Wuthering Heights. Ew. Gross. It's a classic. You shouldn't do that to a classic. I mean, I thought, you know, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies was kind of fun and funny. But that, you know, I mean, they're purposely sort of ruining a classic and screwing with it. But, yeah, I don't want to see a fanfic of some classic. It's gross. Continuing. Dropping to 8 from 7 is I Can Only Imagine 2, 1.5 million. This is sort of a mildly religious movie. Number 9, dropping from 5, Epic, Elvis Presley in concert, 1.5 million. Not sure how this even got back into theaters. JEC, that was the problem with the original, not horny enough. Yeah, but like, you know, that time period, I mean, part of the whole deal with a story like that is it's very understated. Everything's implied. And you leave things up to the imagination, and that in and of itself is actually, for people with imaginations, it's something that it's almost custom made for your brain. That's why they did it. So, you know, besides the other reasons why they did it, it's too much. Too much. Number 10 is Demon Slayer Kimitsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle. I don't know. This somehow came back into theaters. 1.3 million. Number 11, dropping from 9, is Zootopia 2, $800,000. So that's finally going out of theaters. Number 12, premiering at 12, is Protector. And this is with Mila Jovovich, who's pretty good as an action star. but only in the action star that's completely unrealistic, right? Like Resident Evil or The Fifth Element. You can see her as an action star because the movies are totally unbelievable anyway, and they're these grand spectacles of special effects and monsters. So it's fine. It's fine. She's the main character. Protector looks to be like a more grounded, action movie. Yeah, that's not going to work. She is 90 pounds soaking wet. She was a former supermodel. I mean, she's got some moves. She's not as stiff as, say, Anna de Armas, who was not good in Ballerina in terms of her moves, in my opinion, but was a smoke show. But yes, you can't actually be like, oh yeah, she was a soldier. She's not built like a soldier. She's too wafy. If she really wants to bulk up, but I don't know why you would want to bulk her up. I guess it's just because of the previous movies she's been in. They're just typecasting her at this point, but doesn't look like Protector's going to do very well at 744K though at number 12. That's a bad start. That's a real bad start. Maybe overseas it'll do better. Oh, no, it's not. It doesn't have distribution overseas yet. Yeah. She's so great in The Fifth Element, though. I love her in that. She's so perfect, too, because I forget what nationality she is, but she speaks in an alien language, and along with her accent, she sounds completely alien the moment she opens her mouth. It's great. What's next? Avatar, Fire and Arse, as Indie Phantom would say. 740K, still hanging around. Number 13, dropping from 11 in its 12th week. Number 14, dropping or rising from 16. 2026 Oscar nominated short films. $544,000. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that because they're probably good. The thing about short films is they're short. So they don't have time to really, you're watching it. You don't have time to really resent them. They're usually over before that. They have to be really bad for you to start to notice. A bad movie that's only 5 minutes long, you're barely into it and it's over. So number 15, dropping from 12, is Solo Mio. This is that Kevin James Angel Studios thing. 539K. It made money somehow. It somehow made money. I would never cast Kevin James as the romantic lead in the movie, but there you go. I wish they'd cast him in another comedy. But nobody's making comedies, as you can see. Number 16 is Dolly. This is a horror movie from ICF or IFC. 480K. It's creepy dolls in the woods, and then the murderer has a giant doll head on, and you find the doll, and then he kills you, or something like that. Pretty much cut and paste these movies a lot of times. Number 17, dropping from 10 in its third week, dropping like a rock, is How to Make a Killing. This is that remake starring Glenn Powell. Man, this thing's it's just out of here. He has no box office, apparently. It's a shame because it wasn't a bad plot. But they seemed to get a little desperate with the advertising. They had Powell come out and say something like, "Oh, this is for everybody who hates billionaires." It's like, now you're trying to appeal to the communist, I guess? I don't know. But I hear the original's pretty good. It's about a guy who is born into a family that's super, super mega rich, but he won't get any of the money unless all the other heirs die. So he decides to kill them all, and they're all terrible. So that's a tough one to pull off. It's tough. You have to make all the other heirs so unlikable you want to see them dead. And then you have to make the main character kind of reluctant to do it, but kind of almost pushed into doing it. I think would be the only way to really do it. But apparently they didn't pull it off. Let's see. Going from 27 to 18 is Surat, and they re-released it and put it in more theaters. And this time it made $353,000. This is, I think this is on an Oscar list somewhere. Probably best foreign pick. About a guy looking for his daughter disappeared in, like the equivalent of Coachella out in the Middle East somewhere. And he's looking for her. Dropping from 15 to 19 is Pillion, the gay biker movie. $341,000. Not sure who's that for exactly. Number 20, going from 26 to 20, is Hamnet. $316,000. For some reason, they put it back in the theaters. I guess because it got an Oscar nomination. From 28 to 21 is Marty Supreme. Yeah, not a great movie. $239,000. Didn't really like it. It wasn't poorly made. Oh, here it is. Here's the movie we've all been waiting for. Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Went from 21 to 22. $227,000. This movie didn't make $145 million. It made $3.7 million worldwide. I wonder what the budget was on this show. It's probably kind of low. What is the budget for Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie? Because they already do this as a TV show. According to the AI, it was only $2 million. So yeah, this thing probably made its money, because it's at $3.5 million domestically, and they advertised it a little, but I don't think they had national commercials or anything. So yeah, that's a nice modest profit, I think. Number 23 is Dracula from 19, going out of theaters. I mean, it's time to stop making regular Dracula movies. You're going to have to do something different with Dracula, or it has to be like super, super classic and no nudity. Stop putting that. I don't want to see Dracula's wang. I don't want to see that. Number 24 is The Secret Agent, another Oscar thing, going from 40 up to 24. So I guess they're jamming all the Oscar bait back in the theaters. Yeah, it did so well the first time around. You all remember The Secret Agent. You probably all saw it 3 or 4 times. No one saw this movie in the United States. It's a Brazilian movie. It takes place in like Brazil in the 70s. I mean, it looks cool, but I don't think it's really going to catch fire with such an obscure time period and country. In the United States, maybe in Brazil. JEC, that was the problem with the original Dracula. Not horny enough. There you go. Number 25, up from 35, is The Coral. $84,000. Number 30... or number 26 from 30 is Kokuho, $45K. That's a cartoon, I think. Number 27, up from 41, A Private Life, 30K. Number 28 is The President's Cake, up from 36. What the hell is The President's Cake? In 1990s Iraq, 9-year-old Lamia must bake the president's birthday cake. She scrambles to find ingredients for this compulsory task while facing potential punishment if she fails. Well, that sounds interesting, actually, because wouldn't that be 1990s? I think that would be Saddam Hussein, because he'll effing kill her if he doesn't have a good cake. Number 29, up from 43, is Sentimental Value, 23K. This is in the pipeline for some Oscars. Dropping from 22 to 30 is Psycho Killer, $19,000. This got terrible reviews, but I mean, how could it get good reviews? Premiering at 31 is Pompeii, Below the Clouds, $18,048, or $848. Number 32, A Poet, up from 46, $16,000. Number 33, Stand Out, the Ben Kajar Story. We all know Ben Kajar. I think I saw Ben Kajar the other day. He's doing great. Who the hell's Ben Kajar? You put that in there like we know who it is. The Ben Kajar Story. With no chance at an ordinary life, he lived an extraordinary one. Okay? I guess. JEC, is Psycho Killer a Talking Heads biopic? It is not, sadly. It is a slasher movie. Number 34, up from 51, The Moment. And number 35, Natchez. Is that it? I think that's it. We don't even get a total. Great. Thanks a lot, the numbers. So that's it for the box office. I have no idea what the total was for the weekend. But domestically, I would spitball it around, let's see, 63, 70, 76, 680. I think you cracked 100, maybe just barely. Maybe 100, somewhere between, I'm going to say 88 and 100. JC, so they play the Talking Head song in the trailer at least? No, they do not. I don't think they have the money. Looks pretty low budget. I mean, not low budget, but low budget. They don't have the money to play Psycho Killer. I don't think. Maybe they didn't want to spend it. It doesn't really... I guess it could... Well, it depends on the plot of the movie. Maybe it doesn't jibe with exactly what they were doing. Because the Psycho Killer in the Psycho Killer movies, like, wearing some kind of weird mask and stuff all over him. I don't know. So that's the box office as near as I could tell this week. So happy birthday to me. Let's move on to the trades. We've got Writer Guild Award winners. They are underway in New York City. So what could possibly go wrong? Here's The Bride. See, they're even trashing it in Variety here. The Bride bombs with $7 million opening weekend. Here's still from the movie. You can see there's Christian Bale as Frankenstein. He looks ridiculous. I mean, let's be honest. He looks ridiculous in this. He's got, like, you can see right here, he's got bolts in his head or staples. JC, they deserve to fail then. meaning the psycho killer people. JC, psycho killer goes with any mood and vibe. Play it for your lady friend during sexy time. You'll thank me later, aka blame me later. Yeah, that's not a sexy time music. Sexy time music is Steely Dan. Thank you. Play some Steely Dan. That's your makeout music right there. It's nice in the background. It's, you know, your lady friend will go, who's this? Is this Steely Dan? It is. Best of Steely Dan. You can't go wrong. Give us some funked up music. But look at this still. I wish I could blow this up. I can't. They just look bad. This, to me, is a movie where Maggie Gyllenhaal must have thought everything in the movies was the coolest thing she had ever seen, and she just doesn't understand what cool is. Maybe she's too old to understand what cool is. I don't know. JC looks like the cockroach man from Men in Black. He just looks silly. Like she's trying to make a cool Frankenstein. And it's supposed to be Frankenstein. Like the idea, I think, in the story is they made Frankenstein, you know, in the 1800s. And he survives all the way to 1930s Chicago, where he then gets Annette Bening to make a bride for him. Which, again, like, it's a stupid premise, but it could have been a fun premise to play with. Like, you could have had, like, this, you know, epic, spectacular Bonnie and Clyde thing going where the monster rolls into town and he's fighting, I don't know, he's fighting Al Capone and some of the other guys for whatever reason. And he wants a bride, and or he falls in love with some hot flapper girl who dies, and then he takes her to the scientist who brings her back to life. And then she's brought back to life, but she's crazy. Like she's just nuts, and he's so in love with her, he starts listening to her, and they just go on a tear. I mean, it'd be great, you know, in an action crazy kind of way. This just looks like, the moment you mention feminism, I'm so out. I can't be more out. The moment you mention feminism in a movie, it's like you might as well say, hey, in the middle of the movie, what we do is we stab you in the face. And then I go, what? I don't want that. No. The movie's really good. You do get stabbed in the face, though. Just understand, sometime during the movie, you're going to get, ooh, right in the face. I'd be like, no, I'm not seeing this movie. I don't want to be stabbed in the face. JEC, if anyone knows cool, it's your 48-year-old childless wine aunt who is aging like a melting candle trying to reboot her Hollywood career as a director. Yeah, like you can't do cool at 48. You can't. Not for a young crowd. You know? It just doesn't work. And, you know, the moment you said feminist Frankenstein should have been the moment that Maggie Gyllenhaal was politely escorted off the lot. No, thank you. I mean, they already did it. Number one, Poor Things was feminist Frankenstein. 100%. And that looked abominable. But Hollywood propped that up. I don't know if that made money, though. Let's see if it made money. I think it did. $117 million. Let's see. No, maybe not. What is the budget for the movie Poor Things? I think it was a pretty high budget. 35 million? Okay. Yeah. 35, 70, and then, yeah. So it did make some money. Internationally, though. I mean, look at the international box office. It's 83 million. Well, money is money. I mean, it still made, let's say, 70, 70 plus 17. So it needed 87 million. So it made like $30 million. It's not a great profit, but it's a profit nonetheless. So you can't fault a movie for making a profit, but I cannot see it, that's for sure. So maybe they thought uh, the bride would have some legs because Poor Things made $30 million. They thought, well, we'll make an even bigger budget feminist Frankenstein movie and it'll make, I don't know, $90 million. Instead, they spent $90 million. You had Christian Bale. So I wonder if he's afraid of fire. I wonder if that comes into the movie. That would be pretty funny. Like right in the middle of the movie, fire, fire bad. JEC. That was the problem with the original Frankenstein. Not horny enough. I'm loving this running gag. So why they killed my boner, bringing feminism into it, I'll never know. Hollywood is a boner killer these days. But here's someone who's not a boner killer is Yellow star Hassie Harrison. She's in the Baywatch reboot. Oh yeah. Oh, let's get a bit of picture of her. Come on. Hassie Harrison. Hassie Harrison, bikini. There's going to be a bikini shot. You just know it. Here we go. All right. I think I got a bikini shot right here. I don't want to look at this form. Hold on. That was the wrong one to click on. Wait a second. All right, here we go. Try this one. Oh man, Babepedia. There's too many guys on the internet with way too much free time. All right, Babepedia. There you go. She's very cute. You can see why they picked her for Baywatch. I mean, she's going to look great in this show. Still no bikini pics, though. Oh, there we go. Oh, wait. There's a bikini. There, that's the bikini pic I was looking for. Yeah, she's going to be great on Baywatch. I could see that. Absolutely. This is what people want for Baywatch. It's not that hard. Find the hottest women in Hollywood. Well, that's kind of hard because there's a lot of hot girls in Hollywood. Let me tell you, when I lived in LA, my head was on a swivel. There were hot chicks everywhere. They really do grow on trees there. It's like all the hot genes moved to LA, and they just keep making hotter and hotter women there. It's crazy. I walked into an office, and there was an audition going on, and there was a girl who was just so hot. I looked at her and walked right into a pole because I was just stunned. She was a smoke show. I have no idea who she was. So yeah, Baywatch could be something. Probably not much, but at least it'll be good to look at. Baywatch will be that kind of show you turn on when you're you're having a party and it's just playing in the background. It just looks really good and there's music blasting. No one's paying attention to the show, but you're seeing like hot chicks running around. What else is going on? Peter Doctor, that's his name, says Pixar cut the LGBTQ storyline from Elio because we were making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy. Too late. That movie didn't do too good. And you should send that memo to every other person in Hollywood, Pixar. So maybe that's why Hoppers is doing okay. Although it's not doing great, it's doing okay-ish, I guess. JC, based. Ben Stiller tells Trump White House to remove Tropic Thunder clip from pro-war video. We never gave you permission, and war is not a movie. Except when I make a movie and it's about war, and then war is a movie. But other than that, hello, I'm Ben Stiller. I'm extremely funny, except when I'm trying to be serious. These guys just really, they can't shut up. Like, did they pull Ben aside and say, look, Ben, you're very funny, and that's a problem in Hollywood today. We need to have you do things that are so cringe that eventually people associate you with not being funny. And we realize that's your brand, so we'll give you a giant pile of money to destroy it. Is that what happened? I don't know. Are the Chinese communists that determined to see me not laugh at a movie? They seem very determined. JEC, obviously we learned nothing from Tropic Thunder. Sad. Yes, very sad. Like, why aren't you doing a sequel to that? Everybody loves that movie. Well, I think they're doing a spin-off movie with Tom Cruise and his characters. Oh, Netflix dropped Meghan Markle. So that's not all bad news this week. I just find that hilarious that they invested even one penny into this woman. She got some kind of podcasting deal, and she only did one podcast, but she got millions of dollars. I don't understand it. Like, were they trying to pay off the royal family for some reason? And they funneled the money through her? She literally did only one episode of the podcast. I mean, I assume it was so terrible they said, please don't do any more. We'll just give you your money. But my God, who thought this woman was talented? If she was talented, do you think she would have needed to marry a rich guy? Her talent would have taken her places. She was already on Suits. She would have gotten a movie deal. I mean, she's not bad looking. She's pretty attractive. Why do they keep doing this? Is she out of her mind? Maybe that's it. Maybe she just has so much power and nobody's willing to stop her. Certainly her husband doesn't seem willing to stop her. God. Just tell her, Megan, give it up. You have all the money in the world. Spend time with your children. Like, there's so many people out there who would just love to have the money to go, oh, I don't have to work. Oh, I could spend time with my family and my children, making them happy. Or I could, I don't know, do charity work. Or I could travel around the country telling people about the Jersey Devil. Whatever your dream is. Her dream is apparently to go back to what she was doing in LA, only to have lots of money doing it and making her husband miserable in the process. He has to be miserable. I've never seen that guy smile. He did that book. That sounded like a humiliation ritual. If there's anything, I'm not a huge believer in humiliation rituals, but I do think her husband's going through one. She is awful, in my view. That she complained about the South Park episode. Imagine caring what South Park said about you. A cartoon that you probably don't even watch and has never watched. Oh my God. Someone said something nasty about me as a public figure. I have to do something about this. That'll help my image. And just when you thought there weren't enough women in movies, the Bridesmaid reunion is set for the Oscars, everybody. So, enjoy the Oscars, ladies. Are there any men left to watch the Oscars? I kind of don't think so. It's just going to be women, 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 women in the movies. Okay. When the theaters close down, enjoy. Jennifer Runyon, Ghostbusters and Charles in Charge actress, dies at 65. Who was she in Ghostbusters? Jennifer Runyon. Who was she in Ghostbusters? She had to be Jennifer Runyon. Female student. Oh, she was like the hot student I think that Bill Murray is hitting on in the beginning of the movie, maybe? Wow, she was 65. Yeah, that jibes. Because she would have been, let's see, 65 in 2025. You got to subtract like 40 years. So, yeah. Yeah, she would have been like in her mid-20s. And then she was in a bunch of other movies. Oh, she was in Beverly Hills 90210. Quantum Leap. She looked like one of those actresses who just does a lot of shows. Looks like she did shows all the way up until the 90s and then stopped and didn't come back until 2015. So like 20 years later came back to do some stuff. And now has unfortunately passed away. That's a shame. What did she die of? Oh, a brief battle with cancer. That's a shame. Let's see. Bruno Mars, the Romantic, becomes the first debut #1 on the albums chart. Is there even a chart left for music? I don't even know anymore. How do things chart? People don't buy records anymore. They don't buy tapes. They don't buy CDs. They just download everything. And no one cares. No one cares what you've downloaded, apparently. Oh, here's... Man, they're really picking on the bride. I almost feel bad, except, feminism. 5 reasons the bride was dead on arrival at the box office, okay? Inauspicious release date. Was originally scheduled for October 3rd, 2025. Yeah, that makes sense. But why would Warner Brothers executives relocate a film where the Halloween anthem Monster Mash plays over at the end credits to a time as random as early March? That means they didn't think it would do well, I would say. Number 2, too much Frankenstein, too little time. Oh, it was one of the reasons it was pushed to 2026 was to distance itself from Guillermo del Toro's take on Frankenstein. That sort of came and went too. Number 3, the budget gone wild. It cost way too much for an R-rated genre-bending crime story with art house ambitions. Yee. Yeah, that wasn't going to do well. It also had a musical number in it, apparently. A press tour that forgot to sell the movie. Apparently, audiences don't want to hear how the monster was stitched together. During the promotional circuit, Gyllenhaal spent a lot of time talking about the film's tragic test screenings when she needed to be convincing the masses to buy a ticket. Jesus. JC, Del Toro's Frankenstein was just a Netflix thing. I know, but it sort of didn't really make much of a impression. Meanwhile, her star Buckley was busy on the award circuit as the frontrunner in the Oscar Best Actress race for Hamnet. Then again, there was probably a reason the cast didn't want to do a ton of publicity. And number 5, audience rejection. Yeah, that seems like an important factor in a movie. If the audience has rejected your movie, that could be a sign that the audience has rejected your movie. Del Toro's Frankenstein. Oh, I read that already. JC, it's nominated for Best Picture. I don't think it's going to win, though. Audience rejection. It's as simple as that. Reviews were weak, but moviegoers were downright dismissive, saddling The Bride with a C-plus grade on CinemaScore exit polls. Well, that might as well be an F. When word of mouth is that lethal, there's no amount of marketing magic or charming stories on the late-night talk shows that convince people to get off the couch. That's the scary truth. I guess it's just terrible then. I mean, when Variety is trashing your movie, you're in trouble. Because I've seen them prop up plenty of terrible movies. Country Joe McDonald, Woodstock star who found counterculture fame with I Feel Like I'm Fixin' to Die rag, dies at 84. Well, it finally came true. I remember him from the Woodstock. If you've ever listened to Woodstock or seen the movie. Quentin Tarantino has been given a hall pass to use the N-word in movies, says Rosanna Arquette. It's just racist and creepy. I don't know. It's just his weird thing. It's not like he's trying to do, I guess, sort of grittiness. Some of it's a bit gratuitous, I would say, but I don't think he's racist for doing it. JC, I liked Country Joe's Vietnam song. I did too. JC, give me an F. Give me a U. Give me... I don't know if I should spell this whole word. Give me a C. Give me a K. What's that spell, everybody? All right, let's see what's going on at Fandom Pulse. Fire 5 pilot retrospective revisiting Serenity as reunion rumors swirl. So there's rumors they're going to bring back Firefly, but without Josh Whedon, or Josh, I can never say it, Joss, Joss Whedon. I don't think they can bring back the show without him. If he's not on board, then this show is going to be completely Disney-fied. JC, Tarantino is cowering in a bunker in Israel right now. I don't understand what Tarantino is doing, really. He seems to be on this thing where he's trying to do other stuff, which is so weird to me because he was the guy who loved movies and cinema and couldn't get enough of movies and cinema, and now he's done with movies and cinema. It just seems off-brand for him. He's doing a play in Europe or something. JC, it's pronounced Jersh, Tony. Jersh Whedon. Jersh Whedon. Yeah, without him, you can't do this show. It's as simple as that. Seth MacFarlane on the Orville Season 4. Scripts are done, but timing remains uncertain. I can't get behind the Orville. It's not funny enough to be a comedy show. It's not scientific enough to be Star Trek. It's kind of... the two things undermine each other, and I can't get behind either one of them. And the Season 2 opener was so insulting to my intelligence, I said, that's it, I'm out. I'm not watching this show anymore. It was so stupid to me. And it wasn't funny. So I don't know what they were trying to do. I guess it was a bit, but it just came off as, this is stupid. And I never liked the whole bit where he's the captain of the ship, but his ex-wife is serving underneath him. Like, that was just stupid. And she cheated on him, but then it turned out later it was kind of not her fault because Rob Lowe was some alien with pheromones who has sex with everybody because that's what his race does. And it's like, okay. I don't know. I didn't know whether to laugh at that show or take it seriously, and I couldn't do either. And I just after that second season, I was like, nah, I'm out. Um, and we were talking about this earlier. Sarah J. Maas buys back the film rights to her degenerate romancy porn series, so everything can be adapted. So I think they're going right to the source now. Like, this stuff is crazy hardcore. And I know because I ghost wrote some of it. I'm ashamed to say, but I needed the money. So some of it's gross, man. I mean, it's really sexual. It's basically female porn, is what it is. And it's all wind up, too. There's not a lot of porn in it. I would write one of the novels and it would be, you know, 20 chapters, and like 18 of the chapters wouldn't have any sex in it whatsoever. They would all be wind up. There'd be a little sex in one chapter, and like she would have sex with the main character and they would fall in love, and then later they would have some big falling out, and then there was like sex at the end where they would get back together, and it was super graphic then. JC, Tony would know if it's gross. He wrote it. I didn't write that, but I wrote some stuff, and it was gross. Like, they would say, write X amount of, you could write extra for more money, and I would get to the minimum, and I would be like, I'm done. It was kind of soul crushing. But I can't tell you what I, wrote, obviously, because it's a secret, but... Oh, here was some other stuff, too. Riker, apparently... Well, Patrick Stewart's doing Shakespeare again. But Jonathan Frakes, Riker, directed some of Starfleet Academy, the new show. And he's a good director. But, man, that show looks god-awful. God-awful. I don't know why he stepped in. So he defended the show, kind of. He did it the smart way. He didn't attack fans. He just kind of went, I don't know why people won't give it a chance, kind of thing. But, when you have gay Klingons and it's all like, again, romancy kind of stuff, and it's supposed to be Star Trek. I mean, he knows better than anybody else. That's not Star Trek, I think. So, but, he's working on the show, so it's not like he can badmouth it, even if he wanted to. I would say, but... Jack Posobiec calls for President Trump to stop Disney from rebooting Firefly. I don't think they're rebooting it. I think they're just bringing it back with the original cast, what's left of them. But who cares what Jack Posobiec thinks? I mean, it's Disney. They're going to Disneyfy it, I think. Here's the Hollywood Reporter, WGA winners list. Do we want to look at this? I don't think so. I think it's just going to upset me. Let's see. Harry Styles crashes Ryan Gosling's Saturday Night Live monologue 1 week before he's set to host. Okay. One battle after another takes camera operator's prize. That's very sus that they would announce that. Like, who announces a camera operator's prize like it's a big deal? Sounds like they really, really, really want one battle after another to win Oscars. And they're kind of desperate to point to other awards, maybe? JC, Trump's got nothing better to worry about than the reboot of Firefly. Yeah, I think he's got enough on his plate. I think he's got a little too much on his plate this month. Little worried about the gas prices. Oh man, I drove past the gas station. Now, originally it was $2.74 here. It had gone down. I drive past the gas station, and it goes to $2.99 here, and I'm like, F, I should have gassed up. And then it was late, and I said, I'll go tomorrow. And then I went the next day, and it was $3.19. I was so pissed. I had to pay $3.19 for gas. Who's president? Biden? JEC. They literally only made 14 episodes of Firefly, and they're still talking about it. Well, they were good. I mean, I liked them. I didn't watch them all, but I watched a lot of them. They were pretty good. They were different, you know. They had a different sensibility to the politics to it. Corey Parker, Will and Grace actor, dies at 60. Another person taken by cancer, unfortunately. Cancer is just happening and happening and happening. It's almost as if someone injected everybody with a certain medical procedure that accelerated cancer rates. Priyanka Chopra Jonas on playing an all-too-rare female pirate in The Bluff. And the spectacle of S.S. Ramjuli's RRR follow-up. I saw clips of the pirate movie. Yeah, it doesn't seem to jibe to me, the pirate thing, for her. I mean, she's hot, right? They put her in, in India, they put her in movies where she's the romantic lead, the hot chick. She comes to America, they put her in as a pirate. Fighting Carl Urban as the bad pirate. Come on. Look at this. All right. Stand on the apple box. Jump up like you're gonna stab him. All right, Carl, she's coming at you. You're very afraid. Put your arm up. Come on. No. She's too hot for this role. Sorry. I mean, at least she's kind of tall enough, but Carl Urban was Judge Dredd. Come on. He's Judge Dredd and the Butcher. You're not going to beat him up. All right, moving on to Bounding in the comics. JEC, you know what's the problem with this new pirate movie? Not horny enough. Damn, you nailed it again. What else? Oh, there's a rumor for video game people. A God of War spinoff starring Faye might be coming soon. This is how out of touch the video game people are. They think I even know who Faye is. Now, I played God of War. I don't have a copy of it, but someone loaned it to me, I think. I played through a run of it. I have no idea who Faye is. I guess she was one of the supporting characters in the game. I wouldn't know, because I usually skip the cinematics and go right to the punching. But you're telling me anyone asked for this? You're out of your mind. Video games are so effing woke. I'm going to play some tomorrow, but they are too effing woke. I don't know what I'm going to play. I have that copy of Red Dead Redemption, which I still haven't opened. I'm tempted to open it, but I know I'm going to have to spend all day learning how to ride a horse in the damn game, and I really don't want to do that. I really just want to start shooting people in the face immediately. But it's not that kind of game. I may just go back to Doom and shoot monsters in the face. But who wants to see this? Hey, you know what? We're coming out with a new game. You know the main character you all love? Yeah, he's not going to be in it, but his girlfriend is. What the hell is this going to be? The girlfriend of the God of War is here, and she is going to make you a sandwich. Here you go. If only. That might actually be a good game. But what? No one cares about this character. Do you understand how do you understand your audience even a little? Like, have women just taken over the video game industry and they're just like, we're going to make women play this whether they like it or not? I have no idea, but sure seems that way. We're going to drive men out of it. That way they'll go to work. It's insane. It's insane what they're doing to video games. Are there no men in the actual office of a video game company to go, hey, Cheryl, why don't you sit down? Hey, Amy, no. How about no? How about this is a stupid idea? You called me stupid. I'm going to HR. Maybe if half these video game guys hadn't sexually harassed the other women, you wouldn't be in this pickle. Apparently, there was a lot of sexual harassment in video games. I don't know why you would do this. It's so stupid. Over at Deadline. So, there's a big merger happening, and it's not the Paramount, Skydance, Warner Brothers merger, but it is the Banijay All 3 Media merger, and the guy who's going to be the head of it is the guy who used to run CNN. This bald guy, I forget his name, and Jeff something, and he hates Trump. He hates Trump so much. So, I don't know if this is in response to the Warner Brothers merger, maybe, but to me, I think the Warner Brothers, Paramount, Skydance merger is really about creating a counterbalance to Disney, because Disney is so woke. But I don't even think you need to do that. I think Disney's going to eventually collapse. They're losing so much money. Yeah, they made some money too, but I don't think the parks are doing well, and they're rebranding and rebuilding everything. They're spending an S-ton of money, like an absolute S-ton of money. I think the whole thing's got to collapse underneath them eventually. Or they're just going to sell off too much stuff. I mean, if they cannibalize, the only reason really to go to Disney World after a point was to see the vintage rides, and now they're tearing them all down, or a bunch of them have been torn down already. So what's the point of even going? Like, do you really want to go to see Cars? Like, the Cars ride is like, the movie's old. When did that come out? Early 2000s? Like, it's 20 years old. Okay, so let's say the 30-year-olds take their kids to go Disney World to see Cars, but I don't think they're going to dig it. They're not as perennial as like Mickey Mouse and the others. And when I went to Disney World in the 80s, it wasn't even about the characters really. It was just like, this was the big park that everybody went to. It was just, supposed to be a family experience, and it was a lot of fun. They had cool stuff there that nobody else did at the time. But now it just seems like, well, they have other rides, right? But you can ride rides all over the country now, so it's a different time. In the 80s, it was, there were other amusement parks, but there weren't a lot that were worth it to get on a plane and go to and stay at for 3 days or whatever, or a week or whatever. There were only so many of those. Now they're everywhere. So why would you get on a plane where you could just get in a car and drive to one? You have to really, really like the characters. And the Disney characters were really liked. That's not why we went, because I was too old by that point to care about the characters. I just wanted to play arcade games all day. But it was still fun. But now it doesn't seem fun. It doesn't seem like they have current characters or characters that anybody cares about. The only guys who have those characters are Universal has Harry Potter. That seems like the park a lot of people will go to. In fact, I know someone who just went to the park just to go see Harry Potter stuff. And maybe The Simpsons. But the Disney stuff, like, I might have been interested to go back to the park, although I'm out of the demo, just to see the vintage rides again. But, you know, I don't know why you would tear down the vintage rides and not just build new rides. Just build new rides and leave the old rides alone. But I guess they were too dated and they thought they could rebrand them. But you got to rebrand with something like super, super enduring. Something that's like a absolute classic. And Disney just, what do they have? Maybe they could have done rebrand them with some of the Marvel stuff, because the Marvel stuff is fairly classic, any way you slice it. But it's more from the comics than really the movies. But some of them did pretty well, like the Avengers and whatever. Could have rebranded that maybe, but I don't know. Anywho, that was a tangent. SAG-AFTRA studios extend negotiations amid progress. WGA talks loom. So these guys are once again on the verge of a strike. Writers Guild Awards. One battle after another takes adapted screenplay. 2 wins for The Pit. Updating live. Don't care. In fact, I really, really don't like One Battle After Another. It sounds communist. WGA East President Tom Fontana talks AMPTP negotiations and Paramount WBD merger at WG Awards. Democracy is at stake. How is democracy at stake? Can anybody explain this to me? How is democracy at stake? JC, the last strike didn't end the industry. Let's try it again. Jesse SDF is here. Yo, bro, happy birthday. Thank you very much. I'm going to sushi tomorrow, and I already got $5 in the sushi fund, so I'm very excited. Yeah, like, how is democracy at stake because the WGA is having negotiations? Like, that has nothing to do with the government. WGA East President Tom Fontana weighed in on the state of things during a brief conversation with Deadline. So, when you say things, do you mean the country or do you mean the WGA? Obviously, healthcare is really important, Fontana said, reiterating that rejuvenating the union's health plan fund will be among the top priorities this bargaining cycle, while also acknowledging that the writers' union has questions about residuals that they'll also want to address. Again, I don't see how this hurts democracy. Jesse? Sushi sounds great. I had sushi week before and had udon bowl for the first time. The bowl was huge. Hope you have fun. Thank you, Jesse. It shall come as no surprise, given the frank statements released by the WGA East and West throughout the WG acquisition saga, that Fontana is not a fan of any sale of the legacy studio, but especially not to Paramount. Uh-oh. Quote, I'm no businessman. I don't have no fancy degrees. I ain't had no book learning. No, he didn't say that. I'm no businessman. All I can tell you that jobs are at stake. Huh? You are no businessman. Democracy is at stake. Well, you're no politician. I don't know how that makes sense. A couple of little things like that, he sarcastically noted, adding, I would have preferred somebody else. Actually, in an ideal world, I would prefer Warner to stay Warner. But yeah, I think the mergers overall are toxic for the industry. Kind of glossing over a lot of issues there, I think. I mean, movie theaters suck. They suck a bag of D's. We've been over this, Fontana. It's a terrible experience at the movies. Why don't these guys know that? Are they having a good experience? I guess they are. They're probably sitting in a screening room somewhere with sushi. But yeah, it's not good in theaters. It's terrible. It's terribly expensive. And it's just terrible, I would say. But whatever. What else? Why moviegoers left the bride at the altar. High art monster pick could lose $90 million. Here's something they won't stop talking about. Tiffany had no idea her song was in Stranger Things until season 5 premiered. I'm a huge fan. Dear God, you're still talking about season 5 of Stranger Things? Again, this goes to my theory that entertainment magazines farm out their articles to various projects and studios, and they write them ahead of time, and they have them in the queue, and then they just go out when it's time. But because they do it so far in advance, it doesn't really resonate with what's going on at the time, because it's more of a, and this is just my theory, it's more of a business transaction just to keep the idea of these things in the mix, so to speak. But it's just so weird that they would suddenly talk about Tiffany and her song being in Stranger Things. It feels like that was 100 years ago. I know it was only, last year, I guess, but still. Maybe I'm on the internet too much. I don't know. Class size 20 student body. Young escapees from North Korea. True False Film Festival opens doors to school for defectors. Well, that's good, I guess. Welcome to freedom, North Koreans. All right, moving on to Bleeding Fool. Anti-male Hollywood, how awards bait movies vilify men. And there's a thumbnail of the bride. So yeah. HBO Max and Paramount Plus, a $200 million subscriber streaming giant. I guess. I have HBO Max for free. I had Netflix for free. I barely watch them. It's just not a lot on there. I watched Smiling Friends. That was pretty good. And then they canceled it. It's not much there. You know, I watched The Batman on it because they wanted to charge me an extra $1 in the theaters. That was a good idea, Warner. A decade later, Marvel's still fixated on Iceman's sexuality. In case you didn't know, Iceman is gay, gay, gay. Let's see if they have the picture. Yeah, there he is. Gay Iceman, everybody. Yeah, this is a thing people want to read in comics and see. My God. What has happened? I can't even stay on the picture. It's so Ghey. Like, what are you doing? This isn't superheroes. This isn't even popular. That's the best part. It'd be different if they did this and you had $1 million in sales. Like if you did this and you sold 1 million copies, I still wouldn't like it, but I'd be like, well, they're making money. You can't fault that. You can't fault the money because that's where the market is. The market's not even there. They're doing it and there's not even making money. They're doing it and even fewer people read it. Wouldn't that be an indication like, I don't think anybody wants this? I would fire everybody at Marvel and I would completely undo this storyline. Along with all the other storylines they screwed up. I would just hit the reset button. I would just never mention this ever again. I'd just shift into another Marvel universe that didn't get ruined by these guys. And then just pretend like that that storyline where he comes out. Like, he wasn't gay. He wasn't gay. The character just wasn't gay. There were already gay X-Men. And they had to make this one gay because there wasn't enough gay. It's just unreal. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, it's got to be embarrassing. There was a time I thought about opening a comic book store because I was deep in the industry and I kind of knew the market. I can't imagine having put a bunch of my money and time and effort in building up a comic book store and then seeing these comics come out and have to sell them. Like, I wouldn't even know what to say to the customers. Like, what do you say to a customer who was a fan of the X-Men and Iceman, and then they turn his character gay for, I don't know, brownie points or virtue points, while like online, every other creator's bad-mouthing the fans. Like, I wouldn't even know what to say to him. I'd be like, well, I guess you could read different comics. He'd be out the door. All these customers are. They just gave up. I don't blame them. They went and bought old comics where the characters are themselves. It's like they don't even care that they're destroying these characters. I don't know where they found the people. I guess it's all about fanfic and romancy and all that stuff. But my God, you think after a while they just, you know what? Yeah, we made our point. Let's go back to making money. Nope. They just don't seem to care that they're not making really any money. Comic book stores are back to where they were in I'll say the early 90s. No, wait, it would have been, let's see, Superman died, and then the bust happened about 3 or 4 years later. So I guess right around 96, when everything was in the toilet for comics. I think we're even lower than that. JEC, they're buying the Florida hippopotamus cocaine massacre instead. Well, thank God for that. I mean, that's, until you turn it gay. I'm sure, is there going to be a gay version? I mean, if there's not going to be a gay version, how are you going to capture this imagined audience, JEC? You have to do a sequel and just call it the Florida hippopotamus cocaine massacre only gay. And then do the same story, but everybody's just flaming gay. And like all the dialogue is just like super, super gay. Everything's gay in it. And then it ends with a gay orgy, the end. I mean, that's what it's all coming down to. I mean, this stuff, I can't even look at this picture. It's so cringe. Ugh. Dancing around in his underwear with a bunch of other dudes. Come on. What is this? This isn't a comic book for children. JC, it's not going to get gayer, just hornier. Oh, okay. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. All right, moving on. No, we did that one. Timothy Chalamet rumored for comic book role, Marvel's Nova. I guess. Are they going to make him gay? Probably. UFC White House card announced. Topuro versus Gaith J. Headlines full freedom event. 250 event. All right. So 2 dudes bashing each other in the face. So that'll be interesting. There will be no Batman in the Clayface movie. So another not Batman movie on the table. You know how much I love it when they announce a Batman show that won't feature Batman. It's wonderful because everybody loves Batman, and they decided, well, we're going to make a Batman show, but it won't have Batman in it. Like next year, I hear PBS is going to bring back Mr. Rogers, but it's not going to have Mr. Rogers in it. It's just going to have the puppets and the train, and the door will open. No one will come in and put on sneakers, and then they'll cut to the puppets and the train, and the puppets will just be lying there because Mr. Rogers ran the puppets. So what else could you do? You could do Superman without Superman. That would be good, right? You could follow around Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen. I think they're doing their first not Superman story. It's going to be the Jimmy Olsen show, I think. I think that's a DCU project from James Gunn. What else? I mean, you could do a Western without cowboys and just have horses running around. That's it. Just the horses. And they're running into town. They're running out of town. There's like supplies and a saddle on them, but no cowboys. No. It's passe. You could do an alien movies with no aliens, just the spaceships flying around, crashing because nobody's inside to drive them. They just crash. What else? You could do a Christopher Columbus movie without Columbus. They get in the boat and they don't know where to go, and they just keep driving it and sailing it until they all starve. I mean, these are all great ideas, Hollywood. I'm sure you've got them in development. MCU X-Men, Giancarlo Esposito, Professor X rumor goes viral again. I don't think they should do this. If he was English, maybe. I mean, Professor X wasn't English, but he had an air of sophistication. So Patrick Stewart was pretty good for the role. I don't think Giancarlo would be bad, but he's just not Professor X. I don't think race swapping Professor X gets you anything. I think it gets some fans annoyed, both black and white. I think some of the black fans are annoyed because it feels like hand-me-down characters. It feels like you're pandering to them. And there are black characters and diverse characters in the X-Men. They're already there. Just, you got Bishop. Who else you got? You got Sunspot. You got Storm. Storm's a big one. Storm's one of the most popular characters in the X-Men. I mean, Giancarlo can't play Storm, but so what? You can't find a role for everyone and everything. He's kind of older. There's only so many older characters in X-Men. Hell, he just played an action dude in the stupid Hulk movie. He says he's already in the MCU. That would be confusing, actually, if you put him in. I mean, he could do Bishop, even though he's older. I mean, he's not that old, I guess. Pedro Pascal is Mr. Fantastic. Apparently, the fans are revolting because he's dating a dude who's they're calling his gay Zionist boyfriend. I mean, you live by the Reddit, you die by the Reddit, Pedro Pascal. I hate to tell you. So these are your fans, and you cultivated them. You helped cultivate this set of fans. So you wanted to get involved in politics. You wanted to be the guy who represented them. You wanted to shun other fans who didn't agree with you, I think. So this is what you're going to reap. They turn on you. They always turn on you. When you're in the left side of politics, you're never left enough. It's only full-blown communism. And even that won't satisfy them. JEC, Pedro came out as gay? Well, this is a rumor, so I guess he's not openly gay yet, but I don't think he came out, but this is the rumor about his gay boyfriend, I guess. Who cares? I would say, who cares about his boyfriend? JC, and now people are mad because his boyfriend is God's chosen. I don't know if he's Jewish, but apparently he really supports Israel. Maybe he is, but I don't know. Ethan Van Sciver defends James Gunn's Lanterns. Okay, we'll talk about the Lanterns thing. So they put out this trailer for Lanterns. And it's supposed to be Green Lanterns, but they shortened it to Lanterns because Damon Lindelof and some of the other creators, something leaked out, a video leaked out with them sitting around talking about how they thought it was so stupid it's called Green Lanterns. And they figured, oh, we should just call it Lanterns. So they shortened it to Lanterns, and instead of fighting cosmic forces to defend the Earth, Hal Jordan is training his replacement, which kind of cuts against the grain of the entire concept of Green Lanterns. But beyond that, he's training his replacement, and he's solving a murder in a small town in the Southwest, which is very not cosmic forces, if you ask me. So, yeah. The trailer looked pretty bad. But as I said in my trailer analysis, if you just decided, oh, we're going to do our own version of a superhero show, we're going to call it, I don't know, Dudes in Jackets, and Space Dudes in Jackets, or whatever you wanted to call it, you could do whatever you want, because you would be making up the rules. But the Lanterns, or Green Lanterns as they are called, has certain rules. And if you want to drag in the fan base, well, then you have to adhere to most of those rules. But they're not. They're calling, Damon Lindelof literally called, oh yeah, the Green Lanterns, we thought that was stupid. That's a disastrous way to act towards the fan base. You're immediately driving away the fan base that you had and creating a new fan base from scratch, but you have the old fan base who will actively criticize everything you're doing because they have no investment in the show. They have nothing else to do. Now, most of them will ignore it, but the ones that don't and make YouTube videos will actively tell people don't watch it. So it's another form of and I think I coined this phrase first before the critical drinker, of anti-entertainment. It's the opposite of entertainment. It's anti-entertainment. It's like you have something that's entertaining, and then in another universe, it's reversed, and it's just something that everybody hates. Now, it's possible, however, very unlikely, I think, because Damon Lindelof, I never liked his writing, but it's possible that the show is so amazing and so good that everybody will watch it. I think if Lindelof holds true to form with his previous shows, he will create mystery box after mystery box in order to tease people to keep watching. And he'll keep hinting at revelations that are coming, which will never come. And then 5 or 6 seasons later, so the show will just end with no answers. With almost no answers. That's my prediction. And it won't matter because, number one, the people who start watching the show will get caught up in the mystery boxes thinking, oh, no, it's going to pay off. And then 4 or 5 seasons in where they end the thing, they won't care and they'll just never address it again. And all those people who are mad, they'll just be like, what? And then they'll end up watching the next one, I think. JC, I don't know, Tony. Being combative with fans usually works out really well. So, it's anti-entertainment. And for some reason, of course, Ethan Van Sciver is defending it. I don't know why. He seems very contrarian. So maybe he's trying to get attention for himself again. I don't know. But I don't care. I don't really care. I was watching his videos, and for a while it was fun, and now it's like, I feel like he crossed into a realm, and I even warned of this at the time. He sort of crossed into this realm where he was going to be like the Howard Stern of comics or something and do YouTube videos. And I said then, like, that's really hard to do. I mean, you have to really keep up your pace, and you have to be really talented and funny. And, what I enjoyed some of his videos talking about comics and creation, but after a while he just seemed to run out of stuff, and then his own comics seem to clatter to the ground, and I think finally he's finished Rainbow the Brute, which fans are pretty mad at him because I think it's taken him like 5 years to finish this thing. So I don't know. I don't know. Some fans, I guess, hung on, but so yeah. Um, but so I don't know. I guess he's trying to get attention again for his comics. Rada the Hutt is jacked in Mandalorian and Grogu, a gladiator of sorts. So don't care. Out. So out. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 gets new spot ahead of Disney Plus premiere. Don't care. Out. First look at Henry Cavill, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Eliza Gonzalez in Guy Ritchie's In the Gray. So there's Henry Cavill. There's Jake Gyllenhaal. And Eliza Gonzalez. And as you can see, they're all wearing regular clothes. What, Joan? You want to get down? Here you go. But the news isn't all bad. Disney canceled a likely woke live-action Robin Hood following a remake flops. So I'm a really big fan of this old Disney cartoon, so I'm glad they canceled it. JC, there's a YouTuber called Bubba I watched. His avatar is a jacked Jabba. All right, moving on. The Wrap. More on Hoppers, more on the Ghostbusters actress, more on SNL, more on Country Joe. Fox and Friends apologizes for presenting old Trump footage as if it were from March 7th. Dignified transfer. How did you screw that up? Voice of America director tells staff he's hopeful they can return to work after judge rules Carrie Lake was illegally installed. Yeah, I don't think you're coming back, but good luck to you. Over at That Park Place, Yoshi meet and greet coming to Super Nintendo World in Epic Universe for the Super Mario Galaxy movie celebration. That should be big. This should be a big movie. Rare Mario games announced for Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass on Mario Day. Meanwhile, Disney Plus announces discounted bundles 1 week ahead of Zootopia 2 streaming premiere. So I guess they're anticipating they're going to get some people to buy Disney Plus to see that. JEC, Trump couldn't be bothered to take his hat off while they brought the kids he got killed off the plane. Trump doesn't wear a hat. Since where does he wear a hat? Super Mario Galaxy movie tracking for $145 million debut as box office eyes massive opening. Hollywood and Toto has an article. Michael Rapaport slams Mandani and wife for vile October 7th views. So he is running against Mamdani in the next election. I don't know if he has a chance, but I mean, if New York isn't going to elect Curtis Sliwa, a man who actually fought crime on the streets of New York, are they going to elect Michael Rapaport, an actor who said a bunch of stuff? I doubt it. JC, yeah, he was. His MAGA hat, guess his comb over was a mess. I don't know. Did he salute him? I didn't see it. All right, nothing going on here. Oh, wait, is it another bride? Woke bride feels like a blast from cancel culture past. Yeah, it sure sounds that way. Over at Geeks and Gamers, Part of Brendan Fraser Mummy franchise is about to be erased for the reboot. Okay, let's check that out. Mummy 4 is going to be a slight reboot of the popular adventure franchise. Directors Matt Bettinelli Alpin and Tyler Gillette, the duo behind the 5th and 6th Scream movies, and Ready or Not, collectively known as Radio Silence, recently spoke to Entertainment Weekly. Okay, it's set to have Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz reprise their roles of Rick O'Connor and Evelyn Evie O'Connell. Okay, I heard Rachel Weisz was out, though, for some reason. Why would they need to change it? The question is whether or not the third film in the Mummy franchise, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, is going to be considered canon with the rest of the franchise. It was released in 2008 to negative reviews, mostly due to the fact Rachel Weisz was unable to return as Evie. So instead of cutting the character entirely, they recast the role with... Oh, I didn't know that. They recast the role with Maria Bello. Okay. So they recast her back as the actress who played her. I don't see a problem with that. It's not really a reboot. It's a recast. A recast just means it's the same character. It's just a different actress. So, I mean, use your imagination. You know what they could do? They could go back to the Mummy 3 and use a deep fake to put Rachel Weisz's face on the other lady if they wanted to. You'll probably be able to do that soon yourself. Over at Breitbart, more on Epic Fury. Iran chooses Khamenei's son as next supreme leader. Israel takes out another top commander. Must be a day with a Y in it. 24 dead and injured. An attack in Saudi Arabia. So we'll see what happens with this. He's got a month. He said he could wrap it up maybe in a month. I don't know, man. We'll see. But let's check out what's happening in entertainment on Breitbart. Here's John Nolte trashing The Bride, that it bombed at the box office. Pretty much. I mean, it's a $90 million flick, and it only made 7 point something million its first week. That's pretty cooked. There's no way it's going to make another 180 million. There's just no way. So, probably going to make maybe 20 million, maybe. Millionaire actress Gillian Anderson says she will keep whining about men making more money than her. So good for you, whiny Gillian Anderson. I so don't care. She's working all over the place recently. Stranger Things star Noam Schnapp at GLAAD Media Awards telling gay stories literally save people's lives. I don't know how that happens. I don't know why you would say that. I don't know why he's turned his sexuality into a personality, but there you have it. So, good luck on your next project. I think he's just going to disappear at this point. Bill Maher, I don't hate Iran war. I will if we put boots on the ground. Yeah, I'm not going to be a big fan of that either. I don't want that. I don't think we should have started this war. Trump kind of painted himself into a corner, though. I don't know if he can get out in a month. I really don't know. But we'll see. It's going to be no bueno if we're still in this war in a few months. It's really going to be, because oil prices, I don't know how you're going to compensate. Like, if you could do this and drive the gas back down to $2.50 or $2 or wherever it is near you, then most people won't care. But when you drive it back over $3 and then prices start going up again, yeah, it's not going to work. You can't have it both ways. JC, a gay story pushed me out of the way of a moving train. I'll have you know, Tony. I did not know that. JC, this is literally the opposite of what we voted for, Trump. Your dog news is here. Happy birthday, Tony. Thank you. Or Joan. No, it's not Joan's birthday. Joan's birthday is in December or September. Yeah, I didn't want this war. But I'll say this. He wrapped things up with Maduro very quickly, and I didn't want that war either, but now I'm okay with it because it's over. And he did it in a week, and we lost no one. Now we've lost some people, and it's a much bigger hit. So he said a month, about a month. In about 5 or 6 weeks, it's going to start to really hurt him, I think. JC, Iran's going to target the other Gulf states' oil production next. Prices aren't going down. They've tried, but they're just about out of missiles at this point. The missiles are down like 83%. They've pretty much run out of drones. They've cut their communication. Most of these guys are just shooting at things at random, and they have no idea what they're doing. And by shooting at people, they're getting targeted. The moment you shoot something, it's like, oh, there he is, bam, and you're done. Your dog news. The Iran thing is not going to be short. Well, the upside is we didn't lose an aircraft carrier, and a lot of people predicted we'd lose at least one aircraft carrier. So there's that. You know, the Kurds apparently went in to northern Iraq, but I think they're pretty much just there for themselves. They're going to take a bunch of territory and then good luck getting them out. So, yeah. JC, Maduro has his own guards, sold them out for the award money, and then Trump stiffed them on their award. They're all a bunch of Cuban communist mercenaries, so I don't really care about that. I don't really care about being honest to a bunch of mercenaries who work for Maduro. And besides, did you want to pay those guys? I don't want to pay those guys. I mean, you could say, well, that's not good karma for the United States, I guess, but that's the way Trump does business. And I thought they killed all those guys anyway. I thought they killed all the Cubans guarding him. Blew them all up and used our new, what was it, the sonic machine. Their ears were bleeding and they couldn't think. And then we went in there with guys and shot everybody and took Maduro. Yeah, I don't know. Indy Phantom is here. Happy birthday, Tony. Thank you, Indy Phantom. The problem is, the moment the Democrats get in, they're going to keep fighting this war too. They're just going to do it worse. So, while I don't want this war, I also don't want idiots fighting it. At least Trump seems to be fighting it as smart as one could fight a war. Because he attacked them when they were pretty much at their weakest, wiped out their Navy, wiped out their Air Force, and now, I don't know, I guess it's containment time. So, your dog news. The good news for this week is the Fatal Frame 2 demo dropped, and they did a good job so far with the game. Oh, cool. Cool. Stephen Colbert calls Kristi Noem a domestic terrorist who deserves to go to Gitmo. Oh, yeah, she got fired this week. Well, not really fired. She got shunted out of her position because she may have banged some helicopter pilot and embarrassed everybody and then spent a bunch of money on ads that she probably shouldn't have spent. And the rumor is she told a reporter that Trump approved the purchase of those ads, and he either didn't do it and got mad, or he was just mad she told them that he did do it. And so that didn't sit well, so now she's gone. Why he hasn't done this to Pam Bondi, I don't know. I wish he'd replace Pam Bondi as fast as he replaced Kristi Noem. Actor James Woods blasts Democrats. If you support mutilating 5-year-olds because they like the color pink, you're just a monster. True. He also blasted Republicans this week and said he was basically done with the Republicans because of John Thune holding up the Save America Act. Now, the deal is with that I read is that Ken Paxton, who is running against neocon John Cornyn in the Texas Senate race, is winning. And Thune basically said, or I don't know who said, but someone cut a deal in which, in order to save Cornyn's Senate career, they're willing to pass the SAVE Act as it's written. And but Ken Paxton, who's running against John Cornyn, has agreed to drop out, which kind of sucks because Ken Paxton probably would have been a really good senator. But with Cornyn in, and if you pass the SAVE Act, I guess we get the things we need to keep the Democrats pretty much out of most elections for a while. Kite is here. Hey, fellas, hope you're well. I'm well. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. Punk Rock Festival canceled. Bands quit over organizer donating less than $1,000 to Trump and GOP. Well, as we all know, punk or conservatism is punk now because Johnny Rotten himself even said it. So that seems lame to the punks who quit. Trump derangement syndrome has struck again. A punk rock music festival has been canceled after left-wing band quits the event in protest of the organizer who donated to Trump's 2024 campaign. Kite, of course, anytime I am able. Organizers for Punk in the Park, which has been scheduled to take place in Pittsburgh, PA, April 18th, Orlando, Florida, May 2nd, and Vallejo, California, May 23rd, canceled their entire 2026 tour, and Trump is the reason. That's a shame. It's a shame to cancel something just over your stupid politics when really, you could still sing your songs, your anti-Trump songs, but you can't sing them if you're not on the road, so. The cancellations came after the bands began infighting over political donations to Trump by one of the organizers. Punk legend Jello Biafra, for instance, has been in attack mode against his former band, Dead Kennedys, for refusing to bow out at a festival despite the political donations. They're taking the money and then pulling out. The real Dead Kennedys would have never let that happen in the first place, Biafra complained to Stereo Gum. That must be a punk thing. Punk magazine. I mean, for $250 donated to Trump, it's not like it swung the election, you morons. But whatever. I guess there's going to be two versions of punk now. There's going to be left-wing punk and right-wing punk. I wonder which will survive. Will the soy punk be victorious, or will the right-wing punk be victorious? What else? Britney Spears got arrested for drunk driving. So there's that. That's an old picture of her. JC, if Jello isn't in it, it's not the Dead Kennedys. Yeah, I don't even know who are they going to have sing if not him. And speaking of TDS, Dem podcast star Jennifer Welch, I don't know who that is, gets ovation from Hollywood at GLAAD Awards. F ICE, F Trump, Free Palestine, Save Trans Kids. I mean, just state your entire political history, I guess, on stage. F Trump, let's see, you got F ICE, F Trump, Free Palestine, Save Trans Kids. You forgot something about the Ukraine. You got to add that. Oh, is that passe now? You're gonna forget about the Ukrainians, the poor Ukrainians. What about hashtag Me Too? Forgot about that. What else? There's so many issues. Oh, climate change. Where's the climate change? Don't you want the climate to be good, you monster? Oh, and abortion. You forgot about abortion. What happened to that? Well, abortions for all. Abortions for all. Abortions for none. Indie Phantom. Britney being reckless. Kite. She forgot. Save the Ayatollah. Yep. Gotta have Save the Ayatollah. Of course. These people are nuts. They're nuts, that tells you. Over at the New York Post. There he is. The son of the Ayatollah is now the Ayatollah. So, enjoy it while you can. Kite. And down with Israel, etc. Yeah, you might as well say that, too. Not that I would say that. Joe Rogan slams casuals for booing UFC 326 main event. It didn't go over well. UFO experts' disappearance, a grave national security crisis. I guess the aliens finally got him. But this is the big story. A self-radicalized ISIS protesters used a Mother of Satan explosives inside bombs thrown at Gracie Mansion. Now, these bombs didn't go off. And both these guys got arrested. But, man, that's pretty scary. It's finally happening. JC forgot to remind everyone about gay stories saving people through their cancer research. Right. Did a gay story save people from this bomb? I don't know. Maybe. Nobody thinks about the gay stories that save people. Woman's body found near Phoenix Canal raises questions in Nancy Guthrie search. Is it Nancy Guthrie? Did they finally find this woman? Or did they already know it's not her? I mean, she's 84, so... A woman's body was found dead along a canal in Phoenix, prompting speculation over a possible connection to the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. The remains were found Friday, more than 100 miles from Tucson, where the 84-year-old matriarch went missing on February 1st. Details on the call indicated an adult female was on the nearby canal bank and was unresponsive. When officers arrived, they located the woman who was ultimately pronounced deceased. That doesn't sound like her, else I think they would have said, right? Kite. And Mamdani had the cheek to make it about white supremacy. I'm sure he did. JC. I mean, if it didn't explode, so maybe. So I wonder if it's her. But they haven't released any data on it. So, yeah, I can't imagine this woman's still alive. I mean, the odds of her still being alive. Indie Phantom. Wow. JC, did the body have any evidence about Guthrie's whereabouts? No. I think it could just be a story. I mean, they do find bodies on occasion in, an area like Phoenix. There's a lot of people there. It's a desert, so people wander off and die. But I mean, last time it was the gloves, right? Which turned out to be nothing. They just picked up gloves in like a 2 mile radius from the crime scene, thinking like, oh, maybe these are the gloves. It's like, why don't you just pick through the trash? Oh, maybe the guy ate a sandwich and threw the wrapper in here. Let's test the DNA. Like, that seems to be grasping at straws. Like, I still don't know how they haven't found a single ring camera with a car or, Nancy Guthrie sitting in the window or something. Something. How did they not trace a car from that area outside of it? There's so many freaking ring cameras now. Ugh, I don't even want to read that one. That sounds depressing. Oh, here's my horoscope. Pisces, Venus in the money area of your chart links with Saturn and Neptune this weekend, which is a huge cosmic warning that you must stay on top of your financial situation. If you cannot afford to pay cash for something, then don't buy it at all. Oh boy. Maybe I shouldn't go for sushi tomorrow. Nah, I'm going to go. Rot in the system. Dr. Oz takes aim at Dem governors Newsom, Hochul over Medicaid fraud. There's a lot of fraud. It's a lot of fraud. Toxic black rain pours down on Tehran. Massive fireballs fill skies following Israeli strikes on oil sites. Part of the plan here is they're just trying to get at China, because China provides, or Maduro, Venezuela, and Iran were providing something like 20% each of oil to China. And now that's been cut off. So the Chinese aren't getting any of the oil, and they're screwed, basically. Like, we're kind of screwed, but they're really screwed. So this is going to really hurt China, and that's part of the bigger geopolitical game here. So Major airport reopens after threat prompts FBI and cops to swarm terminal. This was in Kansas City. Popular New York City tattoo biz sues ex-workers for calling out alleged dirty needles, rats, and bed bugs. Ew. Gross. There's James Vanderbeek. Bunch of very depressing things. E.T. alum John Tesh. Oh, that's Entertainment Tonight. I thought for a second it was E.T. the extraterrestrial. E.T. alum John Tesh details 10-year battle with rare cancer. I was given 18 months to live. Oh, that's a shame. Everybody's got cancer all of a sudden. It's crazy. Here's a bunch of sports stuff. Don't care about that. Oh, she's hot. Here's Harry and Meghan. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to rebound from Netflix fiasco with tour of Australia. Must be nice to have millions and millions of dollars to do whatever the F you want. Indie Phantom, I missed hearing about what a wet fart the latest feminist Frankenstein creation was. Also depressing. Yeah, we got into that. Lindsey Graham teases that freeing Cuba is the next for the Trump admin as he boasts about progress in Iran. Stay tuned. I'll tell you one person that's happy about this war is Lindsey Graham. This guy's got a permanent boner now. He loves this war in Iran. He loves war. LA Marathon goes woke with shortcut for runners having a tough day and they still get medals. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But okay. It frightened me. Clockwork Orange star. Malcolm McDowell struggled with his sudden rise to fame. I love that movie. That's a good movie. Pope Mobile. Ford CEO gifts custom Explorer to Pope Leo XIV, complete with personal touches. Okay. Must be nice to be the Pope. Get a free car. Hey, you got a free car. Why did you get a free car? You're the Pope? Oh. Jeffrey Dahmer's mom defends serial killer, says son didn't hurt his victims. You really don't want to go down that path, Mrs. Dahmer. Just want to not be interviewed, I think. Furious Californians slam Gavin Newsom's stealth plan that will bring even more gas price hikes, taxing us to death. I saw, they're saying here $7.61. I saw one that was $8.50. And a woman who gassed up in California paid $107 to fill her tank. That I'm worried that that'll happen in New Jersey. Because then I am screwed. I can't walk to these book signings. I guess I could phone a few of them in, but... Aw, puppies. Kim Kardashian ignores PETA backlash by sharing photos of her kids' 4 new puppies. Aw. They're adorable. Inside Elon Musk's vision of the future where robots do everything and humans don't work. Utopia or dystopian hellhole? Well, what do we think here? Will it be a utopia if we don't have to work? Like, if you could do all your stuff and the robots just do everything, what are you going to do with your time? I mean, I'll write more Pineys books. That's for sure. But, I mean, I would like, don't get me wrong, I would like a robot. I would like a robot to load my car and mow my lawn and do the laundry. I could be doing the laundry right now. The robot could be doing all that, cleaning up the house. I definitely don't want to do that. But I don't know. Indie Phantom, walking is a thing I'm starting to do each morning. That's good. That's healthy. It's healthy to keep walking. I get my exercise lifting my books in and out of the damn car. Ugh. It's heavy. They're heavy. Although, I need to order more books now, so not as heavy. I sold some books this weekend, so I was pretty happy with that. Indie Phantom, I guess I would have lots of time to enjoy media. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, I feel like I wouldn't have any extra time. My house would be cleaner, though. I feel like I would actually have to talk to the robot too much. I'd have to, like, constantly be berating the robot. What the hell are you doing in here? I said clean the floor. I didn't say clean everything else. Or I said clean the floor and you knocked over this or that. Like, that's what I feel like the robots are at. Like, you probably got to tell them way too much stuff to the point at which it's kind of like having a person who's mildly incompetent and you have to keep giving them the instructions over and over again. That's what I feel like the robots are right now. Kite, no, speaking from experience, not having anything to do is the quickest way for people to lose all meaning. These potentially violent people will go insane with nothing to do and thus more aggressive. That's a good point. Yeah, without anything to do, these people will spiral into their politics even harder. But those people are all poor, so I think they'll be the last to get robots. Although some of them are poor. And they already have nothing to do because they are very rich. Some of these college students, anyway. And I think that's about it. All right. Well, that's the end of my birthday stream. And what have we learned today? Well, we learned tomorrow I'm turning 60 and I will go get sushi. And thanks to John Adams, I have $5 for the sushi fund. Thank you, John Adams. What else did we learn? Kite says the poor are the ones being replaced the fastest. I don't think I want a robot sitting around being poor. I think I want that robot to work. We learned that feminist Frankenstein movies probably aren't a great idea. In fact, they're the stupidest idea I ever heard. And I invented that idea. Because once again, at Superfrat, I did the Frankenstein story. Which was basically Frankenstein, only it's supposed to be a hot chick. But one of the characters switches the brain with a feminist. It was supposed to be a femme fatale. But they switched the brain out with a feminist. So if you want to read the Frankenstein story at Superfrat, there she is. Later she gets a pantsuit. So Indie Phantom, have a great sushi meal. I will go back to hear front of the stream. Thank you, Indie Phantom. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it here. What's coming up this week? I'm going to be at Buena Brewing on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Kite says, well, yeah, but I mean, why pay heaps of people minimum wage when one robot can cover the cost of multiple people? It's true. It's true. And then on Sunday, it's supposed to snow. Gee, it. I hope not. But assuming I don't get snowed in, I'll be doing the Salem County Comic Book Show over at Salem County College. Kite, have a great birthday meal. I will. It's going to be all you can eat sushi. I'm very excited. All right. Thanks for tuning in today. And we'll see you in the next one. Oh, wait. I stop here. There we go. And we're out.